So, I just wanted to give you a quick backstory on these meat birds. We hadn't actually planned to raise meat birds this year. Well, I'd thought about it, but we hadn't actually made the decision yet. But I guess the universe made that decision for us because I actually only ordered 4 turkeys from the company that we got the meat birds from, and there was a slight mix-up, and I ended up with meat birds. Um, the birds just they got sent to the wrong place. I ended up with them. Long story short, we paid for the birds and now they are ours. Like I said, it was kind of the universe just saying, here, raise some meat birds. The birds that you just saw, there are 22 meat birds left and 5 turkeys. Um, Originally, there was 50. I guess there was 52. This company is really good for throwing in some extra birds here and there. When we got our last round of um, uh, egg layers, I think there was like 5 or 6 extra. So that's always nice that they throw some extra birds in. Anyways, there was a slight mix up. We ended up with meat birds. We've sold 30 of them to downsize, and we're going to raise 20 of them. So, yeah, the other day when I went down to pick up my turkeys, which I should have filmed, and I'm really sorry that I didn't film it, but I was just there was too much going on, and I was running behind, and it was just too difficult. And then there was panic when there was meat birds, and I wasn't sure exactly what to do. Anyways, so that's just a slight backstory on why we have meat birds. So next, I'm just going to give you a little how to take care of chicks when you first bring them home, um, and show you our setup that we have, and maybe give you an idea for the way that you can set it up, and the places where you can get the things that you might need for your chicks. Okay, so it's late. These guys are kind of sleeping now, but I thought I would take this moment to also give you a little information on what to do if you do have some chicks or you want to get some chicks. What sorts of things are you gonna... That's my dog tap dancing in the background. What sorts of things are you gonna need for your chicks? So, number one, they're gonna get all riled up here now. We have our chicks here in this kiddie pool that you see. They're really useful, and it's really convenient to use for this purpose. As you can see, this one's been used several times. This kiddie pool was cleaned out, sterilized before the chicks came. It's hard to tell, but this kiddie pool's been through quite a bit. I just sprayed it down with some bleach water and gave it a wipe out. And their feeder, same thing. Now their waterer, I actually cleaned that out with vinegar, not bleach, because I didn't want... Bleach dissipates, but anyways, I used vinegar for that instead of bleach. So if you're going to do this yourself, you're going to want to get yourself a kiddie pool. It's the most convenient thing. This wire that we have here is far too big. It's not what we would generally use. And this little turkey might show us why it's too big. Clearly they can get out of there. That's the only one pretty much that gets out. And I just need to replace the wire because I have the right wire outside. Anyways, you're going to want to get a feeder like this one here. You should be able to pick up the feeder and the water at your local feed store. There are... Geez, I can't remember now. I think there's like 28 holes. So this is good for 28 birds. Essentially, you want to make sure that you have a hole per bird so that they can eat. You're going to want to get yourself some heat lamps. Those are very important to keep them warm. We keep a red light in our heat lamp. That turkey over there is being so nice to the chick, pecking the heck out of it. And the other turkey over there is having a really good sleep. Hey, you blocking my footage, turkey butt. And then the other things that you're going to want to get are, oh, I wanted to show you this. So for your waterer, you can use that as a waterer, or you can get these. These are like little nipple things. I got these off of Amazon. You might be able to find these at your feed store, your local feed store. And they just have a thread on the top, and you drill a hole in the bottom of a bucket. So you can use that, but then you have to have somewhere to hang it. And some people say that this is a better way because their water stays cleaner, which is true. However, chicks prefer, or chickens in general, prefer to gulp their water like that little chick is doing right there, rather than to drink it out of a nipple. This is just information that I know. I mean, I never asked a chick. I couldn't tell you for sure. But supposedly they like that better, to gulp their water. And so as you can see, I have my water up off the ground. You want to make sure that your water is up off the ground so that they don't poop in their water and they don't get too much bedding in their water. There's a little bit of bedding in their water right now, but sometimes that's hard to get away from. So make sure that it stays up off the ground. I'm not sure what that turkey is doing. Turkeys are hilarious. I'm going to tell you that for sure. Oh, I'm killing my knee. Oh, hi guys. Hi, little turkeys. Okay, and so the last two things that you're going to need to get are a feed. So this is the tag off of the feed that I got for these guys. So I got a 26%. They had 22 as well, but 26. When you get your birds, it should tell you what percentage they're supposed to have, but I think these guys are supposed to have 25. Well, so I got them 26 because that's what they had. And this is unmedicated. So please keep in mind that if your birds have been vaccinated for anything, do not give them medicated feed. If you give them medicated feed, it means that you need to, we'll have to censor that. So if you give your birds medicated feed and they've been vaccinated, you have to treat them as if they haven't been vaccinated, because the medicated feed will kind of void out the vaccination. So all that means, if you've already done that, is that you have to continue to give them medicated feed. And this is what it looks like. It's just really, really fine and really easy for them to eat. And you're going to want to get yourself a bag of, well, I mean, this is what we use anyways. I'll just scoop some out here. I'm going to scare the heck out of these guys again. So you're also going to want to get yourself some of these guys. They come in like a big brick. I can't really show you the bag because it's kind of shoved in the corner over there. I do have another full one in the car, but I'm not going to get it. And these are just pine shavings, so they're safe and they're nice and big, so the birds aren't going to eat them. Don't use something smaller than this, or the birds will possibly eat them rather than their food and think that they're getting food when they're not. And the way that I do it, it scares them, but every day, or sometimes a couple of times a day, I will sprinkle some of that out for them, especially under the spots where they're sleeping a lot and there's a lot of poop that builds up, because you want to keep these guys nice and dry and clean. Anyways, so these guys are going to stay in here for, oh goodness, could be a few more weeks. It's really cold outside, and I would prefer have them in here and safe than outside and be worried about them getting too cold. Anyways, this video is running kind of long, and I don't want it to be too long, but I hope that was informative. If you've got any questions, you can ask me, but I am not a professional. This is really take one for meat birds for us, so it's a learning curve. Anyways, there you go. Hope that was educational. Bye. So I also wanted to add that having a backup area for your chicks can also be very helpful. I'm sorry, the lighting in this room is like way funny, so it's kind of dark. We've got this one little chick here who had, they call it pasty butt. Isn't that a great name for it? And the other birds were pecking its backside like crazy, and it was bleeding all over the place. And so luckily we have this really nice little brooder that has a heater and a light in it. We got this off of Amazon. So it's nice to have another spot that you can keep warm with food and water for any chicks that you might need to quarantine away from the other chicks. So this little chick will be in here on its own until its little backside looks better, and I think it's safe to go back in with the other birds. So for a backup, I actually do have a smaller waterer and a smaller feeder, but they're outside and I'm not going to find them right now. Like I said, these birds were not, this was not a planned thing, or I would have had all these things planned out. This is our little pooper. Keeps escaping and pooping on the floor, so I have to do something about that today. Anyways, so inside here, oh, the light is so bad that you maybe can't really see. I have just a glass dish right in there, and I've taken a little cup and turned it upside down inside the dish with water in it. That stops the chick from walking in its water. And then I just have an egg carton that I've cut a little couple pieces out of for its food there. And that's a simple way to feed a chick that you've got off to the side, getting better from being hurt. Pasty butt is something that happens just from stress, from what I've read anyways. So yeah, just thought I'd throw that in there. Hope that was helpful.